I've seen this guy twice already, right? In front of the barbecue and rice.
Uh-huh.
I've seen you twice. Have I seen you before here?
You have seen me here before. We talked about what you got. You like your food. You like the way it tastes. It's really good. I'm quite sure it is.
Yeah, I think last time you asked me for a cigarette too, right?
I did. I asked you for if you had a cigarette. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if I asked you for some change. I asked you for a cigarette. Yeah.
What's your name, man?
Dave, old SASS. I'm a musician. I make music, rock and roll, alternative rock.
You play multiple instruments or?
Guitar.
Where can they find you at?
Well, you can find me anywhere in the city, mostly in West Hollywood.
No, on like social media. Where could we hear your music at?
Well, I'm gonna put a couple videos on YouTube, but I hand out CDs and I sell CDs. So, and most likely, if you know people, certain kind of people, they could let you listen to a couple of songs. I have a couple of songs that I have a couple of songs that I produce and I put out in different states.
What do you think is your favorite song?
No, but it's just hand to hand to people. So you'll have to say, have you heard it? And someone will have to come around. Otherwise, you gotta wait till it gets on YouTube, or you gotta wait till I drop something really heavy.
How long have you been into music?
Since my teenage years, early 20s.
Where are you originally from? You sound like you might.
Well, born in the Midwest, Chicago. Lived in Boston. Moved to LA in my 20s, Beverly Hills. I did it. Really. I did a good job, and then things fell apart, and there's government, and there's working world.
When you were living in Beverly Hills, what were you doing to
having lots of sex? Well, I was living with my lover, so I was taking care of. So I was having lots of sex and going out, and
your lover was providing for you?
Well, I had a job actually, so I didn't need a job. I didn't need a job, and going to red carpet events and going to screenings and at the Guild and. Going to a lot of events in my 20s.
Was that due to your music or?
Partly, how I met my lover is partly due to my music, but because he just had faith in me and he says, "Why don't you do your music?"
Your lover's wealthy?
They were wealthy? He's pretty just fair, doing well and saved well and retirement and stuff like this. But Beverly Hills is a nice part of the city. It's the most wealthiest neighborhood in the world.
Can I get what you're wearing? I like your style.
Yeah, check the ring,
Look at the ring.
Yeah.
Nice. I like the nails too.
Oh, here. My nails.
Let me go from your shoes.
Yeah, get my shoes.
Ooh, let it fly. I'm gonna do like a pan, like go slow up.
Yeah.
What was your stage? Did you have a stage name?
Old SASS. Old SASS Snuggles.
How do you spell it?
OLDSASS SNUGGLE. S.
Okay. How is your health?
You know what? My health is pretty good.
Pretty good?
I'm going through some stages of hygiene issue, just not showering and stuff like
that. But that's fixable.
No, of course it is. But I'm talking bacteria and stuff like this. Okay. Stuff I need stuff that's already handled. But
should I be close to you or no?
No, you're fine because I'm doing pretty well. I had some rashes and stuff like that.
I get it. When I was like, I'm 30. When I was 18.
You're 30.
One time I got a boil because I was living in my car a lot and I was like not being able to shower a lot. So I know about those rashes and I've been in jail and I've gotten what do they call it? The what's that thing in jail that happens a lot?
Pre-.
No,
not pre. Excuse me. Oh gosh.
Very common. Like a lot of wrestlers or people that do wrestling, I rub bodies a lot and sweat. It'll pop into my head, but
yeah, I forget the name of it. It's a heavy deal. It's a real rash.
It's a bacteria, I think. I would get like little pimples. They look like pimples. It was
I forget what it is.
What happened was when I went in there was some guy. I was able to get access to the shoes in there. I was able to get like newer shoes, so I had newer shoes on. And one of the people that I guess they were more convicted criminal, they couldn't be in the less security space where I was. They couldn't have a job, right? Because like in jail, if like you're more like as a danger to somebody, you can't hold the job. I had a job and I worked in the laundry, so I traded him shoes, but then I got what he had. Get me?
Sure.
I guess it's the sweat of his shoes. What is it called? But anyway, is your stage name? Did any of your family, were they musicians? Anybody that you looked up to?
I only met my father one time. I was adopted, so I met my father. My grandparents are French and a bunch of other stuff. didn't really have a family, so that stuff doesn't go with the way my life has been. But I like family. Family's good. I like gay marriage. I like rock and roll.
Right.
I like drinking. I like partying. I like music. I like traveling.
How come you haven't found your like a new lover? Maybe that one didn't work out, obviously.
I have, but people are skeptical and people have their own life. I have my own deal. I gotta get myself together. And people like to constantly try and keep their own routine, which is great.
What do you feel like you suffer with?
Do I suffer with?
Maybe like a vice.
I don't have a vice, not really. No.
Like I suffer like pornography.
Really? You don't suffer.
Well, it just doesn't make you feel the best. It's not like something you would like lift your spirits, like
Sure, a lot of people feel that way.
I'd rather maybe have sex with a girl than.
Really? Well, I don't know. See, I like older women.
I'm supposed to interview you.
Really sexy. Older women are really sexy. No, they are. But
the older women are beautiful.
They really are. But the men are,
But not married women because, or married men. If you're into men, nobody married at all, because then you don't know if the other person loves them, and you know what I mean. So.
Well, it's just more about taking care of each other and taking care of yourself. That's what the gay life is more about, being in control.
How long have you felt like you were gay?
Oh, my whole life.
Your whole life?
It's just normal. All men are gay. Women aren't. They don't have a penis, but they'd like to think they are, and they have sex with each other, and that's great.
Do you feel your childhood was not ideal?
Yeah, I liked my childhood. Some of it wasn't ideal. Some of it was a little harsh. Some of it was, out of line. But I had a good schooling, Jewish schooling, and Jewish neighborhoods and stuff like that. So
in the city of
Chicago. Yeah, Chicago and the surrounding suburbs. Yep.
Okay. Was it private school? Or was it just a good school in a nice area?
Well,
That's what you're saying.
My high school was somewhat private because it was a behavior disorder school. So you had to have a certain amount of aptitude.
There was a standard that
going
they kept.
You had to have a certain amount of aptitude going for getting yourself better, and you could. So you had to have good grades, but it was for certain kind of students. One of my high schools was. But I went to college. I took music in a business. I didn't go to the business course. Actually, I dropped the music course because I just made my own album, and I came out to Los Angeles, and things worked out. I was in the street for a little bit.
At what age did you come out here?
This was 2004, 2005.
How old were you at the time?
Now?
No, at that time when you came out here.
24, 25.
Wow, so was it a decision when you were in like your adolescence that you had an idea, I want to go out to Hollywood? Because 25 is not like you came out here at 17 or 18.
No. Because I was working, I had a good job. I was working at a cab company.
So were you hesitant a little bit?
A pretty good job.
Were you battling with maybe self-doubt? Or?
No, not at all. My music's good. It's just when you're younger, what kind of life do you want to live? Are you going to plan? Are you going to save money? Are you going to pay rent? Do you want to put down on a mortgage? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you single? And I had a love in it. Things weren't working out, so I says, I want to try it on my own. And we both do music, so I came out here. And it's part of my structure anyway, so Los Angeles is. So, and I did good. I'm in my 20s.
Being an artist, did you ever want to, and especially in Hollywood, did you ever think maybe of comedy? Did you ever think of...
I love comedy. Comedy is great.
You never thought about doing it yourself?
Sure. I got a bunch of recordings, and I got some stuff on my flash drive. I got a whole bunch of good stuff.
Because a lot of artists are connected to everything. They're connected to the music, the comedy. They like to dance. They like to even draw a little bit, even if they're not good.
See what you're doing. You're giving me an interview. A lot of people have. All the time there's some humorous stuff. People are nice and they're funny and stuff. So I love comedy. It always happens,
Because I even thought about comedy for myself, to be real.
What are you talking about?
Well, just telling your life story in a funny way,
Oh, sure.
You could even bring the audience to a point where it's something like, damn, that's really harsh. And then how you end the sentence, how maybe...
Well,
I don't know. I think a lot of things...
are you?
No.
Oh,
Some things just aren't meant to be funny, but are funny in comedy.
Sure. Well,
Even just calling it comedy, you're inviting those people to come to a show where it's supposed to be funny.
right.
And I could go up there in my head like, this is not funny, this just affected my life. But it just seems funny to them because it's comedy. They came to laugh.
Sure.
And I would be edgy, of course. It wouldn't be fabricated. It would be edgy.
Sure.
It wouldn't be no more fabricated than a regular person that's more outgoing and more, is confident in themselves in a regular basis. I think that's why a lot of comics, that's the only space where they can actually express themselves and be able to, you know what I mean? That's the only, like, for instance, if you went more around a healthy person, they wouldn't need to go on the stage and be a comic. Like a lot of comics, they say they come from a place of dysfunction.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I've been watching, because I listen to a lot of Chris Rock and roll, a lot of music, but I watched I like the black and white stuff, black and white films. W.C. Fields, old fashioned. Check it out. It's fine.
It's comedy?
Yeah, it's comedy. He goes, he waves a cigar. He goes, so what's going on here? Damn it, tell me, I don't know, a bunch of stuff like that. He's really funny. He's a good guy. He's really famous.
A lot of people my age and younger wouldn't be able to sit through that old comedy like that no more.
Really?
Because their mind is like,
you don't have to take note of everything. It's just interesting, and you find and watch what you want to watch.
no, I'm saying the regular, everyday audience.
Sure.
Someone that's artistic, yes, they would study that stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like this society has allowed stuff to be more exposed where people want more and more and more and more to satisfy their thirst.
Sure. What you're talking about, comedy or entertainment in general?
Entertainment in general.
Oh, sure.
TV, television, things they're showing people. Okay, this is a question. You're confident in your music. You enjoy your music.
All right.
You pass out CDs.
I sure do. Hey, let me show you the prototype. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So do you think that these successful commercial artists, why do you think they've got to that level?
Well, a lot have worked really hard, and a lot have been invested in. And of course, there's a big market for a certain kind of people and certain kind of sounds.
Right.
So rock and roll is always going to be number one, but there's
So you make rock and roll music?
Yeah,
Okay.
rock and roll to alternative rock. Here's that. I want to show you. Get a close up on it. That's me in Chicago. That's me in New York.
Oh, you can see.
What I'm going to do is, of course, copy the cover, and then I'm going to stain it a little bit with a bunch of artistic stuff.
This is two different moments, right?
Yeah, two different moments,
Okay.
and then I got a picture of the.
You were in New York?
That's New York, right there. Yeah, that's
wow.
Manhattan.
I've never been to New York.
Oh, you'd love New York.
Funny thing that you mentioned it, my sister says she's going to New York for about 6 months, that she might get a job there.
Really?
Okay, how many tracks are on that CD?
This is just one. This is a track I made in Denver.
Okay.
It's a good track. It's one of my favorite songs, so I make it singles too. I do porn also.
Old SASS, right?
Old SASS.
Oh, SASS. Okay. I'm gonna get my food, Old SASS.
All right, go. So how can I see this? I mean, how can I see? Is it going to be on your site? Show me your site.
Okay, I'll show it to you. The Mind of James. That's what I call it. Yeah.
I'm gonna go
I post my music up there too.
Really? Look, come on, I want to hear your stuff.
Well, you want one of my CDs?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you some
What
of my
is it?
CDs. I do rap and I sing a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. So anyway, let me go get my stuff and I'll head out and I'll give you the CD before I go. Okay?
Definitely.
Old SASS, what do you want to? What do you think is the most important thing in life that you can give a younger person advice? This was the last time you were to speak with him.
Make sure you're responsible for yourself. Make sure you plan for yourself responsibly, and make sure you do the best you can. And of course, at some point, you won't have an excuse for the way things turned out. So you have to be responsible to a certain degree, indefinitely.
Okay, that's it.
Yep.
I was just looking to.
Solid.
I'll give it to you right now, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, SASS. God bless you, man.
I forget what's your name.
The Mind of James.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace.